In this video, we'll investigate XLM Stellar Lumens, which is one of the earliest and most well-known cryptocurrencies now in circulation. XLM Stellar Lumens. In spite of the fact that all these expressions are frequently used synonymously with one another, they really refer to a variety of diverse concepts. The terms stellar and lumens are the names of the native currency on the blockchain, and XLM is the market abbreviation, also known as the ticker symbol. Stellar was developed with the intention of bridging the gap between cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies by integrating the greatest features of both types of currencies. These features include the broad acceptance of fiat currencies and the decentralization and transaction speed of blockchains. It's not designed to take the place of fiat currencies, rather, it will lead fiat currencies into a new era of transactions that are borderless, very immediate, and practically free of fees. So, how does it manage to get this result? I would appreciate it if you would spend the next few minutes answering the following questions with me. What exactly is the Stellar XLM cryptocurrency, and how does it function? Stellar is a decentralized digital currency and payment method and payment network that's open source. In 2014, it was jointly launched by Jed McCaleb, who had earlier been responsible for launching Ripple, and Joyce Kim. 2015 marked the beginning of operations for the network. That was even before Ethereum was born. Users may send dollars, euros, pesos, yen, and possibly any other currency to anybody with a Stellar address anywhere in the world at nearly no cost and in seconds with Stellar. Even while identical transactions are available through regular banking channels, Stellar does it in a blockchain-style manner, decentralized and unfiltered. The question is, what method do they use to carry it out? The addition of fiat currency to the blockchain will be accomplished by what method? Tokenization is the answer to the problem. When one Stellar user wants to transmit money to another Stellar user, they don't physically send currency to either of them. On the flip side, they transmit what they call dollar tokens. These are Stellar blockchain tokens, and each one of them has the same purchasing power as $1. Additionally, each token is backed one-to-one by real cash that is held in a bank account and has been set up specifically for this reason. Because of this, the reverse is required at all times, anytime a user wants to pay out in actual fiat cash. You'd be exactly right if saying to yourself, Chris, that sounds a lot like Tether, DAI, and USDC. Stellar Assets. Stellar asserts that it's the first company to create stablecoins even before the term stablecoin was ever established. On the other hand, there are a few significant distinctions. Stellar is able to take the idea to an entirely new level since it was developed specifically for the goal of doing this. The network does not have a preference for any particular currency over any other, but it may be used to tokenize money from every country on the globe. On the Stellar network, you might have tokens nominating in various currencies, such as dollars, euros, yen, and so on. Tokenization is a well-defined procedure that is embedded into the protocol of the network. This makes it possible for any financial institution to issue tokens backed by fiat currency in an exceedingly basic manner. In points of fact, everything may be tokenized. Not only currencies, examples also include gold, silver, stocks, bushels of corn, and even 1 hour of your time as a consultant. Stellar does this by collaborating with anchors, or third-party companies. These companies are responsible for bridging the gap between Stellar and the traditional financial system by using tokens, functioning as fiat on off-ramps, or both. In exchange for their services, they usually expect payment. The Stellar Growth Foundation, a nonprofit committee to the network's promotion and development founded by Jed McCaleb in 2014, has created specific standards for all anchors to follow. These include keeping a reserve in a dedicated, audited bank account that corresponds to the issued tokens, complying with local regulations, adopting KYC and ALM requirements when on-ramping and off-ramping customers, and using local bank transfers instead of wire transfers. Local enterprises that issue a customized currency are provided services to clients in their own nation or region are frequently used as anchors. Stellar conceals a great deal of depth and complexity behind its surface. Users on the Stellar network are able to engage in peer-to-peer trading with one another in order to exchange any tokens they possess for any other token available on the network. Stellar is unique in that it incorporates a decentralized exchange, a DEX, an order booked directly into the network itself. Each and every transaction is atomic, which means that either both parties to the exchange complete their parts of the deal at the same time, or none of the exchange takes place at all. Imagine, for example, that you own a company in the United States that's responsible for making payments to a Mexican supplier that prefers to be paid in pesos. you're free to send them your dollars that have been tokenized, and they'll immediately convert those dollars into peso tokens at the most advantageous exchange rate available. It's not necessary for the merchant to convert the foreign currency into fiat pesos before paying their suppliers or cashing them out. Borderless transactions in your own money to the greatest extent possible. Then, what about currencies based on Stellar, such as XLM or Lumens? Lumens are required as payment for any transaction fees incurred on the Stellar network. Stellar Lumen is ideally suited for use in micropayments because of its extremely low minimum cost of 0.00001 XLM. Stellar has the sensation of cash since transactions are complete in fewer than 5 seconds. Stellar Lumens that have been mined or manufactured are no longer available. Instead, at the launch of the network, 100 billion Stellar Lumens were produced, and the rate of inflation was set at 1% per year. Nevertheless, inflation was eliminated in October 2019, bringing the total supply of XLM down to a little more than 50 billion units, with no other lumens being created beyond that point. Approximately 20 billion are now in use, with the remainder being retained by the Stellar Foundation for the purpose of furthering the Stellar project and promoting it. Stellar Lumen is the 15th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization as of the time of the making of this video. This is despite the fact that a massive supply is likely what is keeping the price of XLM low, and despite the fact that the price of XLM has been steadily going down ever since it hit the all-time high of 86 cents in December 2017. The price of Stellar Lumens 2020 has skyrocketed by more than 100%, increasing from approximately 4 cents at the beginning of the year to over 10 cents today. If you have a positive perspective on XLM but don't own any other cryptocurrency or wish to buy more, you don't need to read any more. You don't need to go any further. Purchasing XLM with other cryptocurrencies is simple with Exodus one-click exchange. Exodus is a Bitcoin wallet that can be used on a computer or a mobile device. Exodus, which includes over 100 cryptocurrency wallets and other crypto apps, allows you to safely move, store, receive, and trade your crypto assets, including Stellar. If you're curious about Stellar's consensus method, don't anticipate it to be a proof of work or proof of stake. Both techniques were neither cheap, decentralized, rapid, or safe at the same time, according to Jed McCaleb at the Stellar team, which is why McCaleb designed Ripple on a Byzantine consensus mechanism, which was the original Stellar system. Even if a small number of unresponsible or even hostile nodes exist among them, the nodes on a network can use Byzantine consensus or agreement to reach an agreement on a value, in our case, a block. Ripple, on the other hand, functions under the Byzantine agreement, which is based on a single entity setting and managing a list of participants. The Stellar team decides to create a, quote, federated Byzantine agreement, or FBA, which is a version of the classic Byzantine agreement. In a nutshell, FBA has all of the advantages of a Byzantine agreement with the extra benefit of not having a predetermined list of trusted nodes, which is difficult to update and leads to centralization. Instead, it allows new nodes to be added to the network without making any assumptions about their trustworthiness or affecting the security of the network. Because lumens aren't mined or generated, there is no monetary incentives for hosting a node. The only goal is to keep the network secure. If you think it's too idealistic, think again, because hosting a node costs the same as maintaining an email server. Companies and other stakeholders in Stellar's success have every incentive to keep the network safe. Companies like IBM, Satoshi Pay, Wirex, Keybase, and others have incorporated Stellar into their products or built solutions on top of Stellar to run their own nodes to validate transactions and keep the blockchain safe. Our Stellar venture comes to an end here. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to our channel to see even more. I hope to see you soon.